everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Oakland Raiders. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
First carry for Doug Martin, the 2-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to... care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Set! Like 30! Whirl!
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Here's how they'll line things up on the defensive side of the ball for Oakland. They enter play one from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They go play action now. Roethlisberger toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now Roethlisberger. His throw caught right around the 6. The numbers there for Brown from a week ago. Well up over 100 yards, and one of those catches found his way into the end zone.
I do think he'll be hard-pressed to duplicate those numbers this week, though, because he's gotten their attention, so they will double him on every snap at a minimum. In some cases, they'll triple him.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, as the Raiders come back out here on offense, what do you make of what's going on right now out there? Is this a rebuild, or are they just looking to next year? Because obviously the playoffs this season, that's not happening.
Yeah, they're actually looking, I believe, 2 years down the road for their move to.
And he can't get away. Carr is going to go down, and that is a safety. Well, we we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And the Steelers set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And that's complete to Jesse James. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Snickers, 66.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a
fast run. Not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 for Central Michigan man Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jalen Samuels, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. The return man here, Dwayne Harris. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. He'll rifle. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Well, Charles, a year ago at this time, I asked you what your Thanksgiving plans were. So I got a funny answer out of you last year. I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
Trying to figure out exactly what time I kick everyone out of my house so I can just hunker down and watch what's left of the football schedule. That's what I want to know.
Oh, come on. Your mother-in-law is coming in. It's going to be a great time at the Davis household.
But she can stay as long as she wants. She's family. But everyone else,
Get out.
They have an expiration time.
What about the dogs?
50-50. Depends on how they act that day.
Well, when things go awry, you can just get in the car and head out for the airport because you got a game that weekend.
I certainly do. I will be headed to Charlotte, Seattle, Carolina that Sunday. Looking forward to that one. But even while I'm jesting a little bit about people being at the house, some of you I'm not jesting about. Hurry up and get out.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And his pass incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Oh, and now he bowls him over.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Black 20. Monday. Heavy.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. They go play action here on first down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
3rd and 4. 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 3rd and Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Escaping, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Charles, I want to go in a different direction for a second, talk about Le'Veon Bell, because the November 13th report date has come and gone. He's still not with the Steelers. Now, the good news, though, Le'Veon Bell not there, but James Conner has been good in his stead.
He certainly has, and we have to think now that maybe we won't see Le'Veon Bell in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, ever again. And that's for another day. He's not there. You just hit it, though. James Conner, this Pittsburgh team has really elevated its game around James Conner, playing awfully well. He's playing well. And I think there's a certain sense when you watch them that they all want to prove something to Le'Veon Bell, that they can play well without him. And so far, it's working.
And James Conner, he's an easy guy to root for. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw his car. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Now it's Martin. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Get down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Carr to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they have the ball and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
T.J. Watt in on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse.
Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Now Carr throwing on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. To throw, it's Carr. And incomplete here on third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
And that is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Carr to the throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And that that takes us from second to third down.
694.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Looking deep downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. The Raiders try it on fourth down, but to no avail. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Harris to return it. And an alley to run. There goes Harris. 30. Past the 20. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
Breaking the huddle, first and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. They'll run. Martin. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
Carr now to throw. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And it's 3rd and 4. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jared Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. The 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
He's going to air one out. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Complete to Washington. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. Here's Harris to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now Carr, and that's off the mark, incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
On third down, Carr. He's going to let it fly. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Roethlisberger going to throw it. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. 3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one. Deep left. He's got a man. Complete. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Throw left side, taken in by Washington. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Darius Hayward-Bay, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that. But there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And he'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Pittsburgh, the win is their 8th on the year, and they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.